Thank you for each and everything which I have learned. God be with us, teach us, give us your Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. I want to share with you about 1,000 days, 1,000 days of life. Days between a woman's pregnancy and her child's second birthday. So we start counting 1,000 days from when the mother gets pregnant till her child reach the second or 2 years. So this can make someone, but all of God is in the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 52. And it said, and Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men. So where wisdom, so we see wisdom there in stature. So human growth, these both things should be involved, should be go together, where wisdom includes spiritually and mentally, while statures include physical development. So here in 1,000 days, particularly we deal with mental development. Mental development is equal to brain development. Stage of 1,000 days. 1,000 days have particularly 3 stages. We have pregnancy, the first stage, infants and toddlers. I think pregnancy is a special 40 weeks period between conception and birth. It can be, mostly is 40 weeks, but others they may go even 42 weeks, others even 44, but normally a normal is 4 weeks. So that 4 weeks of pregnancy make 280 days. Now we are starting to look those 1,000 days. So, conception means an action of conceiving a child. So when the point where we start counting those 1,000 days. So, and it can take 280 days. Good nutrition during pregnancy and early childhood plays a foundational role in enabling a child to grow and learn and thrive. So this is very important period, those 1,000 days. So now we are in 280 days. Is very important. And here we need nutrition. Nutrition. As you know about I think everyone know about New Start. So New Start begin even from the pregnancy, particularly nutrition. And a baby in the stomach gets nutrition from a mother. So nutrition is very, very crucial during pregnancy and early childhood. During pregnancy, brain development consists of 2 main stages. You can see, don't care about other words, but I want you to understand about those 1,000 days. They are called neurulation and cell migration. These are just very crucial process during pregnancy. This process they are dealing with brain formation during pregnancy. And it combines 3 things in higher vertebrate neurulation. But the one thing which I want you to know, it creates the neural tube which give rise to the central nervous system. It's all about your brain. So brain formation is starting. Brain is starting to be formed during pregnancy, during pregnancy. That's why I said it is very important to get to start a new start, especially nutrition, as soon as you conceive. Nutrition during pregnancy. Proper nutrition is very important. during this period. A pregnant woman should eat a healthy diet, which should include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and nuts, legumes, and seeds. Uh, all in all, the foods from the Bible, from Genesis 1 to 29, and Genesis 3, chapter 3, verse 18. Those foods, the foods which God give us, those are the foods which a pregnant woman pregnant lady should eat in order for the eating spicy, fried, or overly processed food. Do not eat any kind of yeast, any kind of yeast. Also avoid eating meat, milk, and eggs. When you eat the God's diet from Genesis chapter 1:29 and Genesis 3:18, when you eat that food, you get all nutrients which are needed by a human being, because God is the one who creates us, and He knows what our body needs. So when we eat that foods, grain, vegetables, fruits, legumes, and seeds, we get all things that are needed in our body and our infant, a child which is in the womb of the mother. Vitamins are very important. Vitamin A, you can get them from greens and yellow vegetables. Vitamin A protects immune system. Vitamin B, vitamin B12, B6, B complex are very important during this period of pregnancy. Or vitamin C prevent infections and other birth small babies. Vitamin D also works with calcium to build strong bones. So even that's why I said new start, nutrition, exercise, water, those new start things, sunlight, rest, trust in God, those are very important. You have, even during pregnancy. So a pregnant woman should stay outside so as to get sunrise in order to get those vitamin D, vitamin D, which will work with calcium to build to strong bonds of you, even of your child. Folic acid. Folic acid prevent anemia. Also, it involves cell growth and DNA production. Should be taken prior to conception. Also, when you eat the God's diet, you can get all this from God's diet, plants and those plant-based diet. You can get those things from the God diet. Things to avoid during pregnancy. Avoid long fasting. We know others, they like to fast. Other women, if can fast even 3 days without eating any food, they just fasting and praying. But during pregnancy, you have to avoid a long fasting, even cleansing diet. Do not permit X-ray to be taken of you, even of your teeth, to you, and alcohols and cola drinks. Those are things to avoid during pregnancy. If possible, have your baby by natural wife. These days, most of ladies, they don't like to have a baby naturally. Others, they want to. just want to practice that artificial means. But the God's plan is to deliver our baby in a natural way. Stages of pregnancy, the first trimester, it's 1 week to 12 weeks, second trimester, and third trimester. Those are the weeks of pregnancy till to 40 weeks, which makes 280 days. So we have already finished the first part or first stage of 1,000 days of life. So now we are going to see the second stage, which is infancy stage. This is the early stage in the development of growth from 0 to 1 year. And 1 year is equal to 360 days. So during this period from 0 to 6 months, a child should be given breastfeeding alone, that we call exclusive breastfeeding. Breastfeeding alone. But others, they say, my child will never be satisfied. They just give them water, they just give them porridge. But during this period, it is to 6 months, child should be given breastfeeding alone. After 6 months, except, but don't put any drops or syrup, mother's milk for about 6 months from birth. So it is recommended to be practiced for 6 months and then continued complementary feeding. It is very important. And this exclusive feeding, it is being started to get breastfeeding soon after delivery. So it is very important in the growth, the development of the child, particularly brain development. Benefit of breastfeeding. Milk is ultimate superfood for brain development. Breast milk, growth factors. So another, take your time to breastfeed your baby. Even if you are busy, take your time to breastfeed your baby. It is very important. Make your child able to get some diseases. You can even destroy the future of your child because you fail to breastfeeding your baby properly. And breast milk contains a variety of nutrients, growth factors, hormones that are vital to the child's early brain development. Breastfeeding is consistently associated with higher performance on intelligence testing among children and adolescents. Other scientists, they do some researches, and it seems that the baby which has well breastfeeding, they are well performed even in their classes. So, mother, if you want your child to be intelligent, make sure you breastfeed your child properly. Exclusive breastfeeding from 0 to 6 months. It is very important for your baby's development. Benefit of breastfeeding in infant. Breastfeeding is very important to the baby, even to you as a mother. Lower infant mortality. Mortality means death. When the baby who is breastfed have low ability to have a death. the studies show that there are many deaths for those babies which are not well breastfed. But for the children or babies or infants which are well breastfeeded, the ability for them to die is very low. Another advantage is less allergies. Less allergies. Who have breastfed who have breastfed have less allergies compared to those children who got maybe formula, milk formula. There are the milk formula, those which are buy from supermarkets, or maybe in those milk, even at adolescents and adult. So when you breastfeed your child, you can see now my child is satisfied. And when he's satisfied, he stops to breast to suck. But if you give a formula milk by using those things, you can't realize maybe now my baby is satisfied. You can just ignore and continue to give him or her that formula milk. So that behavior make a child to have less control, low temperance, and a low temperance. So she can't control herself in matter of eating. So that behavior continue even if when he or she is older, she become less. She'll be having less ability of controlling him or herself in matter of eating. And when someone failed to control herself in eating matter, obesity can occur to him or her. Another benefit of breastfeeding in infant is better brain development. We have discussed it. Better brain development. In breastfeeding milk, there are all nutrients which are very crucial to the brain development. But also another benefit is it decreases risk of other diseases. As we discussed that in breastfeeding milk, there is high immunity. When the child or a baby breastfeed, the immune system or the immune increase. So it is not easy for him or her to get diseases. But the children who get the formula or bottle milk, it is very easy for them to get those diseases because they lack some antibodies which can be found in mother's milk. Feeding also have been a mother is benefited for breastfeeding her baby. Early return of pregnancy weight. Okay? When you breastfeed your baby faithful, properly, the stored fat gradually, there is stored fat here, and the stored fat gradually disappears during breastfeeding. So you can return your age, your normal weight after you deliver the baby. If you breastfeed your baby properly. Delayed onset of menses. You know, this happened to me when I used to breastfeed I stopped to see my menses. So when you breastfeed properly, there is a delayed onset of menses. That can be used as a natural way of birth control instead of using. Our God is very wiser than us. So when you breastfeed your baby, that can be a way of natural birth control. Another important is less postpartum bleeding. You know, when you deliver your baby, those first week or second week, the bleed is continuing to come out from your body. So when you breastfeed your baby, that period will be shorter. Others, they can continue to bleed even for 1 month. But when you continue to breastfeed your baby properly, faithfully, the period of you to bleed will become shorter. So when a woman lactates, the uterus contracts and reverts to its normal size faster. So as you can see, it's very important. We get a lot of benefits when you breastfeed your child. Less breast and ovarian cancer. The studies shows that the woman who breastfeed her child or her baby properly, there is a small, the low ability, the probability of getting breast cancer and ovarian cancer is very low. So even we can avoid some diseases like that breast and ovarian cancer by breastfeeding our baby properly. So breastfeeding is not only benefit for the infant, but also is benefit for a mother. So we have to take time to breastfeeding our child. But nowadays, some ladies, they say that no, when I breastfeed my breast will go down. So others, they just breastfeed the babies for 3 months, then they stop. But when you do that, you even destroy the future of the baby, even the succession of the baby. Some studies there are the one study that you said in one country, they just took some child and they control them from when they are delivered from their birth till they are 30 years. And they said that even the income of those children who were breastfed well from their birth to 6 months, the exclusive breastfeeding, or from 6 months to 24 months, they apply complementary feeding, means breastfeeding plus other foods, and continually they continue to eat well. Even their outcomes, even their economic status were well when you compare to others who were not well breastfed. So breastfeeding also can determine the future of your child. So it is very important. That is why we're talking about that 1,000 days. Complementary feeding. This is a process starting when breast milk alone is no longer sufficient to meet the nutrients required of infant. And this complementary feeding, I said, it is started after 6 months. After you celebrate that six months birthday of the child, then you start feeding. You start to give a child another feeding. But remember from the diet from the Genesis 1:29. And therefore, other foods and liquids are needed along with breast milk. The process is done during 6 to 24 months. This complementary feeding. You breastfeeding your baby, also give a child, you give a food, vegetables, juices, fruit juices, other foods, all balanced diet. but in a very simple way. Give your child a simple foods. Don't force him. Don't force him. Let us go to the third. You don't hear me? The third stage, the third stage is toddlerhood. Toddlerhood, it starts from 1 year to 4 years. But here we are talking about that 1,000 days of brain development, which is in the years. In this stage from 1 year to 2 years, which is equal to 360 days. Child brain continue to grow and develop at rapid pace. A child brain makes more than 1 million neural connection every second. As you can see, even this time, the brain development, the brain is growing very, very fast. Nutrition is critically important. Protein, zinc, iron, and iodine are essential development throughout the first 1,000 days. Here this is a graph that shows the human development. As you can see here, is from this the period of pregnancy from here to here, from the base to second here. It is here. You can see the brain development and other development of brain development and other features which are very important to the brain development. They're just end up here. A lot of process they are being done through this period, from pregnancy, from conception to 2 years, and this one is 1,000 days. So these days is very crucial. How to get 1,000 days? If I think now everyone can get pregnancy, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 week is equal to 7 days, and 7 days make 280 days. And infants, the second one is 1 year, is equal to 360 days. And the third stage is toddlerhood, 1 year to 2 years is equal to 360 days. When you sum up pregnancy plus infants plus toddlerhood, you get 1,000 days. So this 1,000 days is very important. The brain development. So when you fail to give you to another age, so it's very important to concentrate, to do a new start from the pregnancy till to these days are very important. You can continue, but even this early stage is very important. This Hello?
Continue.
I just continue. I think someone has their microphone on.
Why 1,000 days of life is very crucial and spiritually. So during the first 1,000 days, the brain grows more quickly than at any other time in a person's life. And a child needs the right nutrients at the right time to feed her brain rapid development. 1,000 days consist exclusive breastfeeding and complementary feeding. We have already discussed about that. Baby's brain are shaped. You have to remember this one. Baby brains are shaped not only by quality of nutrients they get, but also the interaction they have with their caregivers. So remember that even the link between mother and child also play a role in strengthening the brain of the baby. That's why you have to take your children or your baby and breastfeed. Make sure there is a skin contact between you and your baby. It is very important. During 1,000 days of life, new start is very important. So nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, rest, trust in God. Those things we have to start before the pregnancy, during pregnancy, even through our lives. Nutrition is very crucial before and after pregnancy. Remember the diet from Genesis, but all in all, God first to each and everything. So before you're planning to get pregnant, God first. Make sure you know your weight, think properly, do exercise, God. Even when you breastfeed your babe, and we pray before, but so milk, you have to pray first of your life. So that's what I want to discuss with you about 1,000 days human brain development. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We thank God. I know there are some issues with the network, but we have heard and we have read, and I'm sure there are many people who are thanking God. Molly, are you thanking God for that information? Are you thanking through Lucy? It's very informative, by the way. The first 1,000. And I just wanted to say something just to add. You see that when you're doing the tally, you use 280, 360, 360. You realize that even when the world is making formulas like this one, is WHO standards, basically the 1,000 days. A lot of pediatric health, public health are being taught about that. They're using God's system. Notice use 360